Caveman editor. He gets his motivation from an unknown source. He begins to walk to his sanctuary and he wipes down his old keyboard. He begins to work on a new outstanding video. He works day after day, but he makes mistakes after mistakes, leaving his video an unsolvable mess. He becomes full of rage and disgust at his work, swearing to never edit again. Before we start, I want to show something to the beginners. So if you're not a beginner, please skip to the little text thing that's on the bottom of the screen. Hi beginners. Say you want to import your media to your project. What you're going to want to do is you're going to open your file explorer, drag them in. You can see I have some Roblox stuff, and let's say I want to put it into my timeline. So you're going to drag it, boom, it's in. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to use the shortcuts. So I'm going to show you the razor tool, which is the most important one, which is you click C, and then to get the mouse pointer thing back, you click V. That's simple. All right, audio, you saw it, you heard it. Good audio makes a video. If you have bad audio, your video is trash. Trust me, my first videos were very bad. Let me actually show you an example of bad audio. I'll show you a video with bad audio, and then I'll show you a video with good audio. So here's before. And this is the part with the good audio.
I love cheese.
Okay, the big thing I used in those videos were sound effects, and let me show you how to get them so you can make that type of quality content. So I recommend to use Pixelbay or any other website that gives you a license. You can use YouTube, but YouTube is a little sketch because you can get claimed for that. But let's say you are using Pixelbay, which I recommend, and you download a sound effect. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're gonna see a download audio license certification, right? It's very important that you actually do download this, because let's say you do get a claim, you have something to fight back. You could put this wherever you want, in a folder or whatever, so you can get it in a few years in time. And let's say you do get a claim, right? You're gonna want to go to your channel content. You're gonna see the copyright thing on the video that got copyrighted. You're gonna hover over it and you're gonna see details. Once you click on that, you're gonna see the thing that is copyrighted. So it'll have like 3 dots on the far right. You're gonna click on that. Then you're gonna click on distribute. And just ignore these 3 things up here. Just click on this checkbox, then click continue, license, continue, checkbox, continue. And then this is the important part. Wherever your license was downloaded, you're gonna copy everything in that download, everything. And then you're gonna paste it here. And then you're gonna check all of this. And then the signature, just do your first name and last name. So like John Doe for an example, and then click submit. Alright foos, next up is audio engineering. A big part of audio engineering is knowing when and where to put sounds. I recommend adding primary sound effects like music and actions such as like opening a door or walking, and whooshes. Let's look at whooshes for an example. When you're adding whooshes, you should see an audio wave. The taller the wave, the louder. The shorter, the quieter. And when the wave peaks, it should be in the middle of the action. So let's say you have an animation, a transition. In the middle of the transition should be the peak of the wave. It just sounds better and it works better. If you have extra time, I recommend adding a heartbeat, breathing, or ambience. In that Nico Avocado Minecraft video I showed you guys, he gets shot by an arrow, right? That is a primary sound. And the rain is a secondary sound. You guys don't really hear it, but it is there, and it really brings the quality way up. We're not done yet. Now I'll show you how to edit your sounds. First up is voice recordings. All you really have to do is make it the loudest track, the primary track. So by clicking G on your keyboard, add audio by 4 increments, wider or louder, until you get into the sweet spot. To tell if it's in the sweet spot, look on the right side and you're gonna see these bars that move every time you talk. Try to get it into the yellow and a little bit in the green, that's perfect. And then add some bass to your voice and it makes it sound better. So go into the effects panel, search up bass, drag it onto your audio, your voice, and then go into the effects controls. And I usually go with 5, it just sounds better, but it's really up to you. I recommend if it's too bassy, go down. If it's not bassy enough, go up. All right, now I'm gonna show you how to edit the more quieter sound effects. So when editing music, I just recommend to make it louder or quieter, nothing else. There's a few effects you can add to it. Low pass, which it makes it sound like it's underwater, and high pass, which makes it sound like it's coming from a TV. You can use those effects to anything you really like. I just recommend it for music, it kind of sounds better. Another effect I want to show you guys is pitch. Pitch is pretty basic. It can make you sound like an evil boss or a smurf. You can also use this on any other sound effect you like. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna search for pitch shifter, then you're gonna drag it on your audio, then go to the effects controls, then click on custom setup. And if you see this precision thing, turn that to highest. It just makes the sound better. Just do that, it just makes it better. You can use the presets, they're pretty self-explanatory, but if you don't want to use presets, you're gonna see this thing called semitone. Semitones is just basically what you do to change the pitch. So the lower it is, the deeper it sounds, and the higher it is, it makes you sound like a smurf. And the scent thing that's under it, that's just for more precise values, if you want to be more precise with your changes. Next up is speed / duration and reverse speed, whatever you want to call it. This usually only works on wind and like whooshes. It doesn't really work well for like talking, it just sounds sped up. I really recommend this for whooshes, especially if you only have like 3 good sounding whooshes. You can make like 50 different whooshes sound effects. So what you're going to want to do to actually get this menu is you're going to right click on your sound effect, then you're going to see speed and duration kind of on the bottom half of this white thing that pops up, and you're just going to click on it and you're going to see this 100 value. Just change it. The lower it is, the slower, the higher, the faster. And I recommend to change it by 20 first, like 120 or 80, and then go down if you want to make it slower or faster. If you also see this reverse speed on the bottom, that's what you think it is. You've reversed the clip. You can use that on videos too if you want, but it kind of messes up the audio, so I would be wary with that one. Finally, reverb. I'm just gonna go fast with this one because we're kind of being slow. So head into effect search, then type up reverb. You're gonna see 3 different options. Go with studio reverb, that's the easiest one. Drag it onto your clip, and then effects controls. Then you're gonna see the edit reverb thing. Click on it, and then you're gonna see presets. Click on that and pick what you want.
You gonna make me act up. You gonna make me do something I'm gonna regret.
Okie dokie. Pacing is up next. Pacing is something that most people look over, and for an example, if someone's trying to make a gaming video with upbeat, fast BPM music, and the video ends up being slow paced, like cuts every 30 seconds, no sound effects, and little to no transition, it seems off, uncanny, it doesn't work. Let me actually show you what I mean by that. Alright, you could see how horrific that video was, and together, you and me, we're gonna fix it. So the first thing we're gonna do is match the music with the cuts of the video. As you can see, I'm doing right here. When there's a beat, there's a cut in a new video. To be able to do this, I recommend to add bass to your music. So you know how to add bass, you go add bass, put it all the way up. It's going to sound very bassy. You're going to be able to hear the beats perfectly. And what you're going to want to do is click on the clip until it has the white outline, and then you're just going to listen to it and click M every time you hear that disgusting bass drop, and you're just going to keep doing that until you don't want to have beats anymore. And then you start syncing up the clips. Like you cut the clip, you put when the beat drops, and then you start a new one, etc, etc. And after a while, sooner or later, you're gonna have all the cut clips, and that was the hardest part of pacing with a montage type thing. This part for montages is not that important, but if you're like doing a Call of Duty one, you have to have gunshots. That's the only sound effect that's important. But with this one, I'm gonna add some more like jingles when he picks up the key at the beginning and the door opening sound effect. I feel like that'll be beneficial for this footage. You really have to learn to know when to put these sound effects. I can't really teach you that, but you'll learn it from experience. Let's have a side-by-side comparison of what it was before and what it is now.
It's okay, it's fairly easy the first time around.
Oh, Christ.
I'm going to tell you guys some tips that I wish I knew when I started pacing. When you have a fast video, like a fast gaming video like Mr. Beast or whatever the gaming YouTubers are now, I really recommend to have complementary sound effects. Something that like those really common whooshes you hear, or like a ding, something like upbeat and light tone. that happens very often. And I have this rule that I've made in the past years. I like to call it the 4-second rule and the 10-second rule. So the 4-second rule applies to fast-paced videos. When I was editing videos for clients, I would have every 4 seconds, I would try to have a change on the screen, like a zoom in, a transition, PNG animation or subtitle, or like a ding sound effect or some sort of sound effect. I don't count whooshes because they're kind of, you expect it to hear it, you know? It's not that big of a deal. An example I would give, let's say you're making a Minecraft video and you want to have fast-paced pacing and you're trying to mine some diamonds or something. I would find a song, and when I'm mining, I would like link up the breaking of the block to the beat, or I wouldn't do that. I would just like go like ding 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 ding, like me mining really fast. And let's say you're doing a spooky video, not Minecraft, right? I would personally make it slower paced. Like I'd find a slow, scary song that's not very comforting, that makes you a little uncomfortable, like ambient music, if you've heard of that. And I would have more uncomforting sound effects, not have like those childish dings and stuff like that. I would have like breathing, or maybe like if I'm playing like an apocalyptic game, I would have like distant screaming, you know, that I think that would be cool even if it's not in the game. Like you don't even have to like acknowledge that it happens in the video. You could just have like really quiet like screaming in the background for like 2 seconds. I feel like that could work with pacing for a horror game. Pacing, it just takes a lot of practice. I truly recommend just try different video styles until you find yours that works the best. Like I always like to say, add artificial sound effects to your video games. I never see people do this, but it works wonders. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous, especially like if the game is lacking like in big sound effects like opening a door. It just works wonders adding sound effects like that, and it always really brings the pacing up. And remember, pacing's just practice. Like I said earlier, it's really just practice. Make your own rules. Like for a slower video, you can have like 8 to 10 seconds something changes. Have slower music. Have a library of fast and slow music for parts in your video. Just make sure to always practice a little bit, and you'll eventually get very good. It's all it takes is practice. If you guys liked that video, comment down below. Yes.